Disclaimer. Hello everyone, for this video I'm going to be talking about Beyblade X because we've gotten so much information over the past day in regards to leaks, a lot of stuff, some answers to Beyblade UX, and this video I want to serve as the purpose to a general recap to that information on what we know so far and a little bit of speculation on any of the new stuff. So before we continue with the video, I have to talk about MolaBays.com because we have pre-orders up for Unicorn Sting, the January release, and we also, I believe, still have pre-orders up for the Sphinx release, most likely. It's an optional way to support the channel, and I appreciate any supports regardless. If you don't want to check out the store, that's fine. You know, if you comment on this video, if you like this video, that is the same for me. And if you are new here, please subscribe. But let's kind of recap some of the side stuff before we get to the main deal. So recently, 2Bays did kind of leak that I am assuming is probably some factory leak or whatever, where we basically saw a gold Leon Claw. Yeah, so if you know about the Rare Bay Get Battle stuff, there was originally a gold Hell Scythe that you could like do like a gotcha win, and now they replaced the gold Hell Scythe with a gold Leon Claw, so that's pretty interesting. It starts January 22nd, so that means if you have the Beyblade X app, if you have the codes to scan, and you want to get like a gold Leon Claw and try to RNG win, you can do so next week. So yeah, I'm not too crazy about a gold Leon Claw, but I don't know if you like it. I guess they say improved performance, but that just is because of the fact that there's paint and the paint just adds a teensy bit of weight. It's not actually improving performance. That's just what we call a marketing fluff by Takara Tomy. Now, the other one is interesting. There is a shark edge where you're going to basically see a creative interpretation of this edited image, but I don't know if the ratchet is supposed to be 580 or not, but the parts on it are either 560 or 580, and a gear flat. Keep in mind, I can't show the literal image, so you're going to have to see this edited image that I have. Now, this painted shark actually does look pretty nice. I mostly just like it for the blue. I think the red is kind of weird. I am very certain that this shark is supposed to be in reference to Common X's actual colors, simply just because of the fact if you kind of look at it, it kind of just matches with all the color scheme that he kind of has. But, you know, I don't know how this will get released, if it's going to be some future Rare Bay Get Battle, a tournament prize, a mail order, I don't really know. But, you know, anything that's with shark, I'll take, and I think it looks pretty neat, though I can see people's point of view if they think the colors don't really match that well. Now we get to Beyblade X's UX. Now we kind of found out about this a few months back when we reported on this from official supplier information, and we basically got the details for each of the following months for what would be released. And to kind of address this, you know, that information basically also said what time of the month, you know, like either beginning, middle, end stuff would release. And it has been accurate. Everything I said, if you check any time I've been reporting, has always been the same thing. It's going to be, I think it's until May, I'm pretty sure. Everything's going to be released at the end of the month, but May is going to be released, I believe, middle of the month, I'm pretty sure. For UX, that's going to be a little bit of a long wait, because that essentially means that we don't get the luxury as the start of X when everything was at the start. Now it's kind of like a slog to get through the month, because you basically start off the new month good, but it feels, I don't know. I always wish it was just at the start of the month, but that's kind of besides the point. However, we do know a few things. For an example, there's going to be a 3-player stadium they're going to be eventually releasing. Now, this stadium in particular has a unique point system, which you can read this whole thing on screen, which shout out to my boy Keo for the translation work. But this stadium is essentially just for the purpose of the fact that Japan has a lot of people, in general, in Asia events have a lot of people playing because they have a large amount of attendees. So essentially making a stadium with the purpose is just to get through a lot of that amount of players makes sense, but that is something that is definitely coming up. And there is also a lot of the other side stuff. For an example, we know the crossover project is this year. The crossover project is essentially just going to be all the remakes. I think it's from a year span from like this spring that it'll be starting. So we'll get to see Metal Fights, Burst, Plastic Gen remakes. So that's pretty cool. But now when we get to the main event, we see a teaser for this bay. Now, what I was told was that I believe this was back when I originally reported with the stadium stuff, that the first 3 bays, which I already said, it's very obvious. It's going to be a Drawn, a Hell, and a Wizard variant. That's at least what I was told from the same person who told me about that stadium thing ahead of time. But either way, it's not really like some big revelation, because we already knew that anytime they're going to start anything new, they always pick, like, you know, the main 4, whatever it is, or in this case, the 3. So I'm not too, like, surprised with that. But we anyways get confirmation with the image that this is indeed going to be UX. We see a teaser image of a interesting design for a Beyblade. To start off with some details that I did notice, you do see the prongs from the Team Persona stuff. You know, like that specific design of the metal prongs there on the actual bay. And just judging by that in the color blue, we can most certainly determine this is most certainly a Drawn variant or a Dragon variant. But I do want to take attention to something else, which is the other image before I even talk about the shape. If you pay attention to it, you'll notice that the metal prongs that we usually see are not there. Instead, it is seemingly just blue plastic, which I'm a little bit intrigued by. I am wondering how they are going to do exactly UX. Now, my guess is that I originally said probably it's like a delving into a new system. It could be the case, or I don't know if this is either technically a subsystem or marketed as a new system. I would think because it's called a new prefix, because everything was BX whatever, if it's going to be called UX, most likely this is going to be maybe like the new system, maybe. Because already the blade looks a lot different from how they're handling it, and it does beg the question, could this new blade be customizable, and could they introduce a different system similar to that of how in the Metal Saga you had the metal system, the metal wheel system, and then after you had the hybrid wheel system where they added different components for customization. That I think could be pretty interesting. Aside from that, the shape of this bay is monstrous. I mean, when you look at this thing is literally like built like Excalibur from Burst. It looks like a very nice shape. It's kind of hard to tell between the front face and kind of the side image, but it's, I don't know if I would say like that much of an oval shape, but it definitely does seem like this thing could be monstrous for its attack hits. Now, I was thinking of potential names that they could probably do. We have Drawn Sword, Drawn Dagger. Since the theme of the original 4 bays is this idea of like RPG, I was thinking potentially, and I know there are some suggestions for names. I thought of like Drawn Excalibur because it's like a legendary sword X, Beyblade X, Drawn Excalibur, like a legendary variant, something like that. I think it'd be pretty cool, but that's really all we have to go by. We're gonna get more information like next month, so I'm very curious to see narratively how UX is going to be written, how is this introduced, what is the purpose of it, and kind of see where we go from there. I do have to say Beyblade X so far has been very much enjoyable. I love the system so much right now in a lot of the releases. I don't really have that many complaints. We're still, again, season 1, so to see interesting developments is going to be a lot of fun. But let me know in the comment section, what are your predictions for UX? And let us assume that, let's say the first 3 Beyblades are going to be a Drawn variant, Hell variant, and a Wizard variant. What would be the names we would be giving them? Like what weapon, you know, let me know. And what type of stuff do you think they could do to change the shapes of it to make it unique and interesting? And that's kind of it. I am very excited for the future of Beyblade. It's always fun to play, and it's very enjoyable. and that's kind of it for this video. So I do apologize if this video is a little bit long. I just thought it's appropriate because it's the new year, and I feel because we get so much information a lot of times, this video is going to be condensed for a lot of people who are like, okay, what the hell is this? Blah, 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 that type of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I am dehydrated, I think, so I will get a drink of water after I finish this recording and editing. So thank you all for watching. Here's to hoping for a better tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, and bye!